Okie dokie. Hello. Let me just try not to turn the comments off this time. You're on the tripod that Vicky sent me, which has helped so much. But it's Thursday night. You guys know I have Thursdays on my own most of the time. If I know, not all the time. It feels like all the time, but it's really not. He doesn't go to Warhammer every Thursday, but it's usually the night that I have on my own. And I'm a little bit bored right now, / little bit feeling as though I just fancy a chat. So I thought I would pack an order with you that I've just got through. I've just got up to date with my orders, and Vicky, you just placed one, so I thought I'd pack that, see if anyone turns up, maybe do a bit of a Q&A, because I haven't done one this month for, well, basically there's not been any questions. In fact, there's been one question which I was going to transfer over to next month, but do you know what? Sorry, I was just reading an email, well, an Instagram thing that's popped up on my phone, and a company emailed me last week. What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm just reading this message and I'm like, what? So a company, I don't want to say too much in case, in fact, I'll just tell you. A company got in touch and they were like, we really like your products, but can you design something for us? It's for a product that they make that they sometimes get people to design some packaging for. So I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I've seen some of my favourite creators work with them, and I thought, that's nice. They're vegan too, which always helps. And this was on Instagram, so I was like, yeah, if you could email me, blah blah blah, because I just feel a little bit more professional dealing with people via email. I don't know if you guys find that, but I just cannot cope. Let's get my owl prints out, sorry, because Vicky wants an owl. Let me see, so 3. I can't cope with people saying things over Instagram, because Instagram is social media. It's not, to me, it's not business. I don't like it. Oh, sorry, I'm just putting my prints back under my desk. They're like on a hidden shelf underneath, which is perfect because it just keeps them safe and stops them from getting damaged. Also, I'm in James's rugby shorts that are, I don't know if they're coming across as a really mucky colour on camera, but he's played rugby in these that many times. If you've got a rugby player in your family, you'll know that it doesn't matter how you try and wash wet clothes. You can't save them. It gets to a point where you can't save them. Let me see. I want some cards as well. So yeah, they emailed me, but they were totally like vague. And I'll be honest, I haven't got around to emailing them back yet, because they were just so vague, and it was a really unprofessional email. And it was, they didn't even link me to their shop. They emailed me on Instagram asking me if I wanted to work with them, which sounded like an opportunity, but then they were like asking me a totally different question via email, which was really off topic from what we were discussing briefly on Instagram. And I was just so confused. I was like, what do you mean? And honestly, I haven't got around to emailing them back because I've been trying to take this week off work. So I mean, obviously I'm packing orders and things, but apart from that, I've not really been doing too much. I've taken this week off YouTube, and it feels actually really nice. What else? Oh, donuts. Let me see. These are the last of my greeting cards. So that one was at the back though, so that one, I won't use that one. That one can go back at the back, and then it's protecting all of them. But yeah, I've just had an ice cream. I feel a bit right now. My hair's got a mind of its own at the moment, honestly. You gummy bear. Let me see. I think that's everything. So I'll tell you what I've just done. I've just placed an order on H&M, which crikey, earlier this year I said to you guys that I was trying really hard to buy second hand. Now that's been going pretty well. However, I went through, what's going on out there? I've been going through a phase this year of just completely revamping my wardrobe because I've been feeling really unhappy in a lot of my clothes. They don't spark joy. Some of them don't fit anymore because it's taken me a while, but sometimes as you get older, and nobody tells you this until you get a bit older, but stuff that you've had when you were younger, sometimes you get a bit older and they just don't fit anymore. You might be like a similar size, but you change shape, if that makes sense. So you might weigh a similar thing, but you change shape. Does that make any sense at all? So I've been getting rid of a lot of clothes that just don't sit properly on my body anymore, that might just make me feel, you know, that I'm out of love with it. And what I've been doing is charity shopping them, so sending them to someone else or popping them on eBay, trying to replace them where I can. But if you've ever tried thrifting yourself, which I'm assuming a lot of you have, it's really hard to replace all of your clothes like that. I'm happy to report that next week I'm going thrifting, so I'll see if I can find anything. And if you're interested, I could probably do a bit of a thrift haul because I've not done one of those for a while. So I'm just getting some envelopes. How many do I need? 3 pink ones. In fact, no, 5 pink ones. And 2 foxes. So I said I was going to pack orders, but I really don't want to like miss anything and get distracted. Which fingers crossed hasn't happened yet, so I'll just stop. But anyway, if you read my newsletter update, you'll know that I'm doing the Wolf Run in 2 weeks' time. And if you watched the video that I linked within that newsletter, you might have guessed that it's messy. It's messy. It's gonna be swimming through lakes, and I'm not happy about that. You can skip things, like you can, if you don't want to do a certain obstacle, you can skip it. Just pop it down a bit. There we go. You can just avoid that one and go to the next one, but I really want to push myself out of my comfort zone and just see what I can do, because I guess like most people, I think I can't do a lot of stuff and my anxiety is like, no, absolutely not. But I'm trying to see this as an opportunity for like personal growth, so I want to give it a go. So there's going to be mud pits, there's going to be assault courses. It's like, you know, jumping through tyres, going through tunnels on your hands and knees, rope climbing, getting over walls, swimming through lakes, going through gorges, going down mud slides. There's like a mud pit that you go in and you have to just wade through it, and it's crazy. Point is though, being a bit of a pastel person, I don't have any clothes to wear for it. So I've got some gym clothes and I have some shorts and t-shirts and things, but I don't have colours that could possibly survive that kind of trauma, you know what I mean? And the preferable colour is obviously black, and I'm sad to say that I don't really own much of the black variety. I just don't. I used to. My whole wardrobe was once upon a time black. Fun story. But I've got some lovely gym clothes that are like, if you have some gym clothes, you'll know that it feels nice sometimes to invest in gym clothes because they make you feel good as you're working out, and that in turn gives you motivation and stuff like that. So I don't want to ruin any of my gym clothes, and I also don't have anything suitable to wear. If you think about it, have you ever been faced with something that you have to think, I'm going to be head to toe mud? And when I say head to toe mud, I don't mean you're getting a bit of a splash. I mean you're sitting in a vat of mud, and I've never done that before. So I have just placed a little order on H&M and got some of their Conscious range shorts and a t-shirt in black. And they're like their sports shorts, and I know I said I wasn't going to buy like from shops anymore, but I'm trying my best. The only shop that I have bought clothes from this year is H&M, or it's been second hand, or it's been ethical clothing. I think nothing's jumping out to me right now, or it's been a vintage shop or something, but I've been trying really hard. If you've ever kind of made that pact with yourself, like, right, we're going to shop second hand now, or, you know, thrift clothes, it's hard to do that. So I have just placed a cheeky order and got some shorts and a tip. What is that my label? Classy. So they're lightweight shorts because they're meant to be quick to dry and all that kind of thing, and I have been running for the past 2 days, so I'm not a runner. I have never challenged myself to run. Obviously I can run, I've got legs, I'm very lucky to have legs, but I don't like running. But the past couple of days I did 2k, not yesterday, the day before, which isn't very far, but it's a marathon for me. And I stopped 4 or 5 times because I didn't stop as in stop, I stopped and went to walking pace, bit of a power walk just to keep going. And then I went again yesterday and I stopped once at the halfway point, so I was really happy with that. I was super proud. I wish I could vlog it for you. I wish I could vlog it because it is going to be so funny, I think. Anyway, have I got any of those left? Got need to use the pearlescent purple envelopes up first. So yeah, me and James are going together. The reason that I'm going, and it's kind of, you know, a random thing, it's just come out of the blue. I literally found out on Tuesday that I was going to be doing it, is because his brother-in-law was supposed to do it, but he can't go anymore, and none of James's friends can make it either. So I was like, I'll take one for the team. We can do this. And it took James a while to come around to the idea, because I'll be honest, I mean, anyone can do it. You can absolutely do it, but because of my hand, you see this, it's going to be risky, which is why I'm a little bit scared. But as I say, I don't have to do anything that I'm not comfortable with. I don't have to climb over things. I don't have to complete anything. If I'm faced with something that I think I can't physically get myself over this wall or climb up this rope, anything that's going to put me at, like, you know, serious risk of not being able to do my job, then I will skip it, you know. But I'm taking one for the team. What can I say? The husband needs me, so I am just gonna, I wish I could vlog it. I'll just say that much. I wish I could take you guys along or strap you to my head on a GoPro, because that would be hilarious. I've never done anything like this before. Part of me, like a big part of me, is really excited, and then the other part is like, Ellis, you fool, why are you doing this? But you know, we're gonna try. A girl can try, and that is what we're doing. I wonder if I can fit these into one bag. So I'm just going to count, make sure I've got the right ones for Vicky. So yeah, the question from, when was it? I think it was at the start of August, and I wrote it down because it was a good question, I know that much. Okay, so Maida asked it, and it was, when you find skulls and things, how do you clean them so they're ready for display? Which is such a good question. And so everything that I have found, I've been, apart from one thing, so if you watch my curio video, you'll know that I collect well, dead things basically. which people sometimes find really bizarre about me because of the vegan thing, but it's already dead, and I just see it as appreciating something even in death, if that makes any sense at all. Sorry, I'm just I'm double checking because I get obsessed with checking things. This is just me. So most things that I have found have been clean already, and when I say clean, I mean nature has done its thing. Everything has rotted away, everything has completely decomposed. So when I say I've got, how many have I got now? I think I've got 3 sheep skulls. When I say I've got sheep skulls, there was no brain still inside, there was no residue of any, oh God, this is grim, there was no residue of any kind. Sorry, that's a bit loud. There was nothing whatsoever left on these skulls. So all I do when I get home is I sort of soak them, well, clean them. I've got, you can get an old toothbrush and pop some gloves on just for hygiene's sake. Get an old toothbrush that you're obviously not going to use again, but this is the internet, so let's just make things clear in case you guys are like, Ellis, why are you brushing Sheila's skull and then brushing your teeth with that brush? That's not okay. Why are we talking about this? But yeah, I put it in a bucket of warm water with some gloves on, and I just gently buff away just to get any mud off, just to give it a good clean. But to be honest, nothing crazy comes off them that you'd be surprised if you've never found a skull. I mean, granted, it's not your everyday occurrence, is it? But if you've never found any sort of bones from animals, that's all I can vouch for here. I've never found a person, thank goodness. But if you've ever found anything, you'll know that it looks pretty clean. It's just got mud on it, and obviously there's going to be bacteria on there and stuff, but to the eye, they're clean looking. So I just pop them in a bag, take them home with a toothbrush, go through them with really warm water, and that is literally all I do. You can boil things, but the thing with that is I haven't got anything to boil something in that is not something that I then use for food. Do you get what I mean? So I've never boiled anything, however I have put something. So my rabbit skull, I did watch that decompose, so the rabbit had already died. I've got hiccups and that's why I keep... the rabbit had already died. Obviously I didn't kill it, but I found it dead, and it was an opportunity where I could keep going back to the place where it was. I didn't touch it or anything, but I went back every couple of days just to watch the progress of the decomposition, because it just fascinates me. It just does. And eventually it got to a point where it was just bones left. So I had a dog poo bag in my pocket, so I picked it up like it was a, you know, like it was a dog poo, put it back in the bag, took it home, and then did the whole cleaning process. But with that one, I think I was a bit more thorough. I think you can bleach them as well, but I can't remember doing bleach. I think I just did really, really hot water, and then I just repeat the process over and over again with a soft toothbrush, because the rabbit skull was very fragile. So I managed to get the top piece and then the bottom jaw. So that was, it was so fragile. Again, if you pick skeletons up, they're so fragile. A lot of some of my sheep are missing teeth, I think. Because things just fall out. There's no flesh and muscular bits holding things together anymore, so you have to be really careful if you want things to stay in one piece. Yeah, I think if you're gonna do things from, obviously there's different levels of treatments that you can do. So when Lindsay sent me my moth, which I still haven't mounted, by the way, Lindsay, if you're watching this back later, I need to find like an appropriate casing for it, because I want it to go on display. It's so beautiful, and everyone I've shown it to has been like, because in England we don't have moths. In fact, let me just get him out for you. He's in here because I love him. still in his box. This collar has just got a mind of its own. This is still in the box that Lindsay sent him to me in. But here he is. Isn't he just beautiful? And sometimes, like, I've had him now. I've had him a couple of months now, Lindsay. When did you send him to me? Has this box got a date on it? I don't think this, because this had an additional wrapper around it. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember when she sent me this. But honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever received in the mail. And I treasure him. That's why he's still in the box, because I just don't want him to get damaged. But in the UK, we don't have anything like this. So everyone I've shown him to has been like, oh my god. And I really want to, obviously he's a very delicate, fragile creature, and when the time comes for me to pop him into a case, I need to do a lot of research and see how is the best way of handling something like that. But when Lindsay sent him to me, bless her, she went through a semi-cleansing process, I guess, where you freeze the specimen. Does anyone else hate the word specimen? I hate the word specimen. I've always hated the word specimen. But you freeze it, and that kind of kills off any bacteria, especially when you're shipping things from another country. Sometimes it's a bit iffy. But bless her, Lindsay did all the research, and she gave me step-by-step updates on, there's a fox and an owl in here. Look, owl, fox. I'm so happy with how these turned out. But yeah, I think it depends on the animal or the creature that you're trying to preserve and, you know, bring into your home. I've watched like taxidermy videos, and I would love to taxidermy something, which again is just a bizarre trait to have, I guess, because of the vegan stuff. But I love animals that much that, and obviously I wanted to be a vet when I was younger. Up until like my teenage years, I was set on being a vet, so animal anatomy fascinates me, which again is why I like to draw animals so much, because I find that when I draw animals, it's like I'm learning about them and their proportions, the shapes of, like, you know, this owl, for example. It's just, when you spend so long on something's eyes and its beak and its ears, it's like it becomes ingrained into your brain and you can remember it. It's like how do I explain this? It's like you are learning the anatomy of something, and because animals are so different, when you spend so long drawing something, I feel like it's a learning process, not just with drawing the animal, but also facts and remembering what an animal looks like in detail. So to me, it's more than just drawing an animal. I just love learning about them. So I would love to do taxidermy. However, it's a lot of taxidermy places, they use like mice. I think you can do like starter lessons, but it's mice that have been bred for that purpose, or they've been bred, you know, for feeding to snakes or whatever, and I'm not about that. And I would only, if I knew someone who was a taxidermist and they contacted me and they were like, Ellis, we found this roadkill, or we found something that's died naturally, I think I'd be pretty much up for going along and learning how to do it, or just watching them. I would love to do that. However, it's so iffy, isn't it? It's so, like, I wouldn't want to get into something where they've purposefully bred or killed an animal for the sake of, you know, any kind of human entertainment or something like that. But it's something that only you guys really know about me, so that's interesting. Because people have told in the past, and again, when people come into my house, they're like, why have you got these things if you're a vegan? And I just don't think being a vegan should even come into it, to be honest. Like, I don't know why people feel that that's something that should stop me from having such a deep interest in these things, I guess. But I love wrapping things at the moment. I've got so if you hadn't noticed, I'm going a lot more sort of natural with my packaging at the moment. So I've got white spotty tissue paper. I'm using a lot of twine. I'm sticking with grey bags. This one is blue, so I'm using up the last of the blue ones. I've got some gorgeous washi tapes and some little wooden heart buttons, and I just love wrapping at the moment. I just find it really relaxing. But yeah, if that answers your question, Maida, about how you clean stuff, if you want to get into it, there's, as I say, there's so much. Where am I? I'm looking for my scissors. There they are. There's so much on YouTube to teach and things, but I've never really come across anything that requires too much attention, if that makes sense. This moth is like the first thing to me that is something that I'm having to put a lot more thought into than just giving it a scrub with a toothbrush and putting it on a shelf. Again, it is just my sheep, bless them. One of the sheep is downstairs, and then me and James have got a sheep each on our bedside tables, but they're out of the way. And again, I think, God, you know what, if my nana knew that I slept with a sheep's skull on my bedside table, she would flip her lid. She questions my sanity at the best of times, but she would hate that. She'd absolutely hate it. But I don't consider them to be unclean. It's not like I'm gonna lean over and lick them, do you know what I mean? They're probably not, if I'm gonna be completely honest, they're probably not clean as a whistle in terms of, you know, free from 100% bacteria. But then again, what is, you know? And we don't touch them. They get moved when we're dusting and things, and they get a bit of a clean. And when I clean them, I don't dust them with the duster. I take them outside, and they get wiped down with a cloth that I have, like, separate. It's like a cloth that's got a coloured trim around it, so it's like a cleaning cloth, but I don't know, this can't be just an English thing, but you get cleaning cloths with different colours around the edge, which I really like, because then I have cleaning cloths that stay in the kitchen, cleaning cloths that are for the bathroom, and then I have a cleaning cloth for my schools, and I just spray them with water, wipe them down, and they're fine. But it means that when I put the cloths in the wash to be washed, because I'm trying to be eco and not using too much kitchen roll or anything, but when they come out of the wash, I know which rooms they're in, you know, so that I can keep kitchen in kitchen. And obsessed. I'm just obsessed with cleaning. I'm really not. I've slacked a bit recently, but I do like cleaning. I wish I had more time to clean. Do you know what I mean? I wish sometimes I'm like, oh, Mrs. Hinch, wouldn't you just love to have a day in the life of Mrs. Hinch? But then I'm like, no, I don't think I'd ever feel like my house was clean enough if I was Mrs. Hinch. She works so hard, and she's done very well for herself, very, very well. I think she's got a little baby now as well, which is lovely. But yeah, I can't help but think, like, if I was Mrs. Hinch, would I feel like anything was ever clean? I am unfortunately one of those people that if I do think about things too much, then I do get obsessive about it. So I try and remain as laid back as I can. Like, I panic if I haven't got my anti-bac, you know, my hand sanitizer in my handbag. I get panicky if I've not got it. And I know it's not a big deal, but if I realise I haven't got my hand sanitizer, then I'm like, so I try not to think about these things too much, and that's what I mean. If I had a job that was cleaning, I don't think I'd be able to stop. I would just clean and clean and clean, and I don't think I'd stop. Anyway, I think that is... I've got hiccups. It's that ice cream, I tell you. Just had these new vegan ice creams that we got from the supermarket, not yesterday, the day before, and they're not that nice. You know, they're alright, but they're nothing special. They're like a cone, you know, like a cornetto. It's like one of those. There you go, Vicky. Your gummy bear is on a backing board now. There he is. I will pop all of your things into a box. That is everything. Yeah, I've double checked this so many times. Oh, let's give you a sticker as well. I've made these new Lovebird stickers for shop orders, so I'll pop you one of those in and whatnot. But what was I saying? Oh, ice cream. You know, cornettos is a cone. Obviously, I want a cornetto. But these ones are a cone as well, but they've gone soft. And I don't like it, so as soon as you take it out of the freezer and it starts to like thaw out, you've got a soft squidgy cone, so you're sat holding this cone and it's going soft and limp in your hand, which don't. But it's like you have to like really, oh, that was disgusting. You have to really be quick about eating your ice cream because it's just melting and your cone is flopping over and you just, I'm gonna go before this gets weird. But anyway, to conclude, that's how I clean my skulls, and that is how you eat an ice cream that's melting at the speed of light. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed just tuning in for a little bit. I've just packed Vicky's order, and I will be back very, very soon. If you haven't already, there is a September content schedule up as well, and now that I've finished that, I'm just going to pop your order into a box, Vicky, and then I'm going to get back onto my colouring book pages, which I'm very excited about. So just an update, I'm hoping to have the colouring books ready for Christmas, which seems like an absolute age away, but believe me, it's really not. And also I'm working on Halloween zines, and I have decided today that we're going to be doing a Halloween box. So if you're a Bubblegum patron, you'll get the Halloween box, and that will be shipped out first week of October. So there's a lot going on. I am prepping now for Christmas and getting new products in, which excites me a lot. And yeah, I'll keep you all updated on any progress. I will speak to you soon.